Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. On the agenda tonight, we have Tower of Power, and this is going to be coming from May last year from the Jules Holland show, and they're going to be playing through on the soul side of town. So let's get these guys up on screen and see how they get on. I'm just going to jump in here, even though I suggest you watch it the whole way through. Link to this video is going to be in the description as always, because this performance is absolutely insane for the amount of musical ability, technical ability, the arrangement, the overall mix, vocal performances, just everything is in this performance. And this, to me, is what R&B is all about. Sometimes I speak to people and they say, oh yeah, I'm really into R&B, and then they play a track that's got just rapping on it, and there's none of this, whereas this is just absolute top level, top quality musicianship. And of course everyone's focus is going to be drawn to Marcus Scott here on lead vocals, and what a lead vocal it is. He's got all of those classic R&B trills and runs that he throws in there so effortlessly. And his technique, you can tell, is absolutely spot on, because the first scream, I'm going to call it, in the intro, you can see that he's not screaming. He's not forcing lots of air through his vocal cords. He's actually making quite a quiet sound, but he's got the technique in order to make that sound a lot louder than it actually is. One of the secrets to being able to sing really high for a long amount of time, especially if you're getting that almost gritty sound to that top end, is keeping it quiet and not putting too much air across those chords. Obviously it's a lot easier said than done, but a lot of singers have suffered over the years because they've got that sound by forcing the vocal cords to make that sound with air and with pressure and with stress and strain in the throat. Whereas here, the vocal technique is absolutely spot on. And again, a quick shout out to Jules Holland and his sound team, because the mix we've got here is absolutely pristine. You can hear everything so clearly. I do mention in other videos where there might be a 3-piece or a 4-piece that get a great sound, that it's more difficult to fill in all of those frequencies with so few people. Here we've got, I think, a 10-piece is the standard Tower of Power lineup, but there is so much to be said for a 10-piece when every player is absolutely top quality and each play their parts so perfectly. The arrangement is so spot on. Just rewind it back to the intro, have a listen to what we've got going on. It's just instantly straight in. We've got stabs from that horn section just coming in and out. We've got a lead guitar solo that's absolutely all over it. We've also got Marcus with that vocal that I just mentioned, just absolutely laying into it. Everything is in that intro, so straight away they just hit you with so much musicality, but it's so tastefully done. And this is one of those videos that I could analyze for years, but rewind it back to the beginning again and listen to the bass. Listen to some of those bass lines going on. They're so cool. The whole groove we've got here, but it's Rocco Prestia on bass, absolutely laying down such a great groove with the drummer. That foundation, of course, has always got to be absolutely solid, but once it is, and you start layering on these kind of players, it's just one of those performances that you just have to sit back and appreciate how great this is. And this is a performance of top musicians, but also players who can sing. They're all supplying backing vocals here as well. And where we have that close-up of the saxophonist who's playing, breaking away for that main harmony vocal, and then he's giving that 2 octave below talking vocal. So he's got a great range vocally, but just all of these guys that can play at such a high level, but then have also worked on their vocals in order to add that. And all the great performances and all the great bands have often had musicians that were not only at the top level of their instrument, playing ability wise, but they could also supply a great backing vocal. And it's not a coincidence that all the top bands, no matter what the genre you look at, the players could play and sing in the background if they needed to. And sometimes the main player, in rare cases, could actually sing a lead vocal. And that's a rare thing, to have a really top ability level at an instrument and then supply a great vocal as well. And generally, if that happened, then you're looking at really top players and top bands and top artists. But let's jump back into it. And there we have it. What a performance. I mean, that is one of the best performances I think I've probably ever seen. Doing it this well is rare. Being able to see a band perform this live, by the way. Let's just throw that out there. This isn't overdubbed. This isn't just miming with a vocal. This is absolutely 100% live the whole way through, just maintaining that whole groove throughout the performance and just setting that bar so high musically. Everything that pops in as a focus, whether it be the horn section, whether it be the keys, whether it be the lead guitar, whether it be even just a drum fill, everything is absolutely spot on. Of course, Marcus's vocals there at the end, you know, hitting G5s for fun in terms of his range. you know, it's right up there, but great control. It's not singing there because you're trying to be impressive with the height of your voice. It's singing there because musically it just sounds great. And when you've got that vocal technique and you've got the ability to do it, then why not throw it in there? Just analysing this as a song and the arrangement as a whole as well. Obviously, we've got little sections where we've got hooks going on all over the place, and dynamically, the way the horn section swells in sections. They're not just going all out here. They're using that horn section dynamically in exactly the same way that you would do with your guitar if you were turning down your volume and then swelling in order to get that really cool effect of dynamic change with the instrument. And let me draw your attention to the drums, because it's something that's going to fly under the radar when there's so much other stuff going on, but supplying that groove and the way that we go from that straight rhythm with the snare on 2 and 4 to then effectively the easiest way to explain it would be going from 2 to 4 and. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When we transition into the chorus, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. It's jumping in there, just totally changing up the groove. And like I said, it might fly under the radar, but that is absolutely essential to get that interest, to keep the interest, but also just to absolutely hammer down that groove. And just a quick shout out on lead guitar to Jerry Cortez. I know that you'll be used to me focusing on guitar on this channel, and if he wasn't absolutely in the pocket of the groove of the track, his playing would just stand out like a sore thumb, because the accents, the phrasing wouldn't be right. So the way that he's throwing these lines together just absolutely sits in there. Of course, a lot of that is to do with expression as well. I always mention about vibrato. In order to express, he's absolutely got his vibrato down. And it doesn't matter which instrument you play, whether it be saxophone or keys or guitar, or whether your instrument is your vocal cords. It's all the same. Those little trills, those phrases that you throw together, it's just something that a player, a top player, can adapt their playing almost into any style, into any groove. They can just fit in that pocket. They just kind of slip in there. It's so cool to listen to that when you do listen to top guitarists play, but top musicians play on any instrument, they can just edit the way they play to just fit a groove. And a quick shout out to Roger Smith, who I rudely interrupted during his solo section on keys the first time that I stopped the video. But rewind this back to the beginning, listen to it as a complete musical piece, and then take it back to the beginning again and choose an instrument to listen to, because the mix is so good you will be able to make it out for the whole piece. Just say, for example, bass, listen to some of the runs going on, listen to the dynamics of that horn section, the way that they swell in and the way that they stab in with those hooks, those different lines that they come in with around that vocal. Listen to the vocal. I mean, there are so many elements. Like I said, you could break this down for years, just focusing on what each player is adding and how good they are at adding their particular instrument to the mix. The other thing about this performance is there's so much soul in there. Every single member of this band has got soul. I know it's called On the Soul Side of Town, but if you are looking for a performance that is just going to show you that, just show you soul and how to do it, this is the video to look at. But thank you so much for suggesting this video of the R&B Legends Tower of Power live last year. Such a great performance, great video. And keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!